Hudson's Tale, Chapter 4, Barbecue. Haley was now alone. Hudson had scurried off into the bushes after identifying the strange figure in the swampy waters. Her breathing became heavy, and she began to sweat. She knew this could be the end for her. "I'm a bloody goner, I am," she mumbled in an English accent for some reason. Reddy was inching closer, and closer, and closer. Reddy began reaching his arm out in an attempt to grab Haley. He was only inches away from her, but Haley was frozen with fear and could not move on her own volition. His rotten hands were now 2 inches from her face, so she closed her eyes and braced herself and waited. But nothing happened. She opened her eyes and found Reddy laying on the ground in front of her. Hudson had dropped out of the tree above them and knocked Freddy unconscious. "You owe me one, big sissy." Haley ran over to Hudson and gave him the biggest hug she had ever given anyone, and said, "Let's keep going, little B. Mom and Dad don't have much time, they do." Hudson and Haley continued to fight their way through the thick haunted forest until they noticed a clearing in the bushes up ahead. They saw a large body of water through the opening and heard the sound of seagulls echoing from that direction. The thought of getting out of that scary haunted forest made Haley smile. She didn't want to be in that forest a second longer than she had to be, so she rushed ahead to see where they had ended up. "It's a bloody beach, it is," hollered Haley with enthusiasm. Hudson was excited. He had a fondness for the beach ever since his mom and dad had taken him camping. He loved playing in the sand and making sandcastles. He looked up at the cloudy sky and determined where the sun was. He realized it was nearing the horizon and nightfall was quickly approaching. Hudson decided they should set up camp and resume travel in the morning. Haley found a nice spot on the beach and began setting up their tent, while Hudson made a campfire and began barbecuing some delicious hamburgers. They sat beside that roaring fire for hours, telling stories, talking about video games and kittens. They laid back in the sand and both of them noticed the sky had completely cleared. All the stars were shining at full capacity. The clouds had completely disappeared. Haley turned her head to Hudson and spoke. "Hudson, Dad's not here to tell you this, so I will have to tell you. Always remember, stars are suns." Hudson was amazed. Haley educated Hudson on space and stars for another hour. Hudson wanted to learn more. Haley could barely keep her eyes open. The two heroes slithered into their sleeping bags and closed their eyes. Both of their minds in unison turned to their parents. They were both eager to continue the journey and get their parents back. This was their last thought before falling into a peaceful sleep under the stars. Chapter 5. Ah! A monster!